Good day, incredible people. I want to say happy International Women's Day. And I figured this was a great day for me to kick off sharing with you some of my journey to becoming a more confident feminine woman and how I actually implement that into my program. So I'm just going to take a few minutes and start and say that for the past 25 years, I've worked as an engineer in the oil and gas industry, and I have trained under men and incredible men. I want to say that the men I've worked with have inspired me, taught me, and given me great insight into the things that I've done. But what I recognized really early in the start of 2020 is that I never ever reached out and looked for women specifically to influence me. Why? Because it was often that I was the only woman in the room. And so I was always surrounded by men. I was in a very male-dominated industry. And as much as my goal in life has always been to help women be more successful in masculine-dominated industries, I realized that the more I did research, the more I worked in the area, the more my influence was coming completely and totally from men. So today I want to take a few minutes because at the start of 2020, I made a very conscious decision to start to follow women, to start to read content created by women and find inspiration about what is it that I'm missing that would help women, especially in masculine dominated industries, to perform better, to be more confident. And it caused me to go, aha, I am not connecting to my feminine side. I had this belief that being feminine was weak. I had this belief that being masculine was strong. And I also had this, I guess, back subconscious belief that as women, we don't really know what it is. And so I consciously decided that I was going to do some research. And I have read a lot of books and documents. I've listened to incredible podcasts. I've actually taken coaching and training sessions specifically with women who are doing the work that I want to do and helping other women so that I could be better to help and serve you. And today I'm going to introduce you to 5 books and authors that I think are incredible, that are really good to help women get on their journey. So the first book that I actually picked up was this one, and it's showing backwards, but this is the Woman's Body, Woman's Wisdom by Dr. Christiane Northrup. And women, don't we all want to look this good when we're 70? She is amazing. But what was good about this book and what I recognized in this book is I was diminishing my body. And so women, I don't know about you, but it is often that when I walk into a room, men will notice my bust because I am very large chest. And it requires me to overcome that. And I used to shy away and I used to be really closed, keeping my arms crossed. I wore big baggy clothing. And until I actually started to change a bit of that in me, I didn't feel great. But I will tell you, by reading this book, I went through a lot of personal struggle, a lot of personal depth. This book is like just shy of 1,000 pages long. So there's a lot of really, really good content in here that I still need to uncover, unpack, and work with. But one of the things that this led me down the path of, I was brought up that my menstrual cycle was a curse and not really understanding how it influenced how I communicated, how I showed up as a leader, and how my energy worked. So this book, I think, is really, really great. And over the next little while, I'm going to get more in depth with some of the things that I learned in this book. I then followed that up with her daughter, wrong book. Her daughter, she's written, Kate Northrup, has written this book called Do Less. She has also written a book called Money, a Love Story. And this is really, really great because in Kate's methodology of helping women discover themselves, she teaches us that we don't need to overgive. She also continues the work of her mom and the cycle, and understanding that women work on a 28-day cycle where men work on a 24-hour cycle. And so, ladies, trust me, we all know this, that there are times in the month where we are grumpy, we are emotional, we may even start to cry uncontrollably. And if you work in a masculine-dominated industry, none of these things are considered acceptable. So one of the things that I started to do was use her book, her calendar and journal called Do Less. And it helped me start to track and understand how my emotions ebb and flow and how that impacts me from a leadership skill. Now, these are things that none of the men will ever talk about in leadership training, which is why it's really important for us to talk about them, for us to understand them and pay attention to them. Because there are specific times in the month where if you want to go in and have a raise, if you want to be successful, that you are a better communicator than other times of the month. And intuitively, trust me, you know it, but you resist it because it's not considered acceptable in the corporate world. The next book series that I started working through is this lovely lady. Her name is Gabrielle Bernstein. And this book is called The Universe Has Your Back. She also has another one called Judgment Detox. As women, we are known for over-judging ourselves. We are known for ruminating more than men do. And this causes a lot more self-doubt and impacts our confidence. Books and work by women like Gabrielle Bernstein help us start to recognize that we are great as we are. And that the more we work to stop judging ourselves, stop judging the world around us, the better we become. So if you've never read anything by Gabrielle Bernstein, highly recommend, even just look her up. Some of you may think that she's a little woohoo, but that's good. I have learned over this year of training and developing that woohoo is actually not a bad thing. The next book that I've just recently started reading and picking up is this book by Arlene Dickinson, who is a Canadian entrepreneur, really incredible woman who many will have seen on Dragon's Den. And she's written this book called Reinvention. And so this goes back to 2013 when Calgary had a massive flood. It significantly impacted her business. And she realized how much her self-worth was tied to her business. Now, the great thing about Arlene is that she shows that one of the best ways to improve confidence is actually that the more you fail, the better you are at able to get up and get moving again. So there is theories about failing faster and failing more often. And Arlene describes that really beautifully on how this flood, which really is not her fault, right, impacted her and what she did to overcome and move forward and reinvent herself, reinvent her business and the marketing organization that she works for. So this is a great book. This has only just come out. I'm not exactly sure when this was published, but she wrote this during the time of COVID. So we're still in that first year of it, and this is a new book. The last book that I'm going to recommend, which is incredible, and I'm just going to take a couple of quotes out of here because I think this is such a beautiful book, if I can find them. This book is written by two women, Katty Kay and Claire Shipman, and it is called The Confidence Code, and it describes the confidence difference between men and women and why women show up as less confidence. There's a lot of great research in here. There's a lot of really good articles in here. And what is really interesting and what really struck me early on in this book is there is a quotes that she did on having a discussion with Lagarde and Lagarde's conversation with Merkel. So if you don't know who these women are, Lagarde is like the head of the economic bank, World Economic Bank. So she informs men, right, around the world on how to do things and make decisions. And Merkel, right, German chancellor. So really, really powerful women. And they describe about how they have conversations about not feeling competent, I guess, or skilled enough or an expert in their field. Yet they are two of the most powerful women in the world. And it's really, I guess I want to say refreshing, somewhat disappointing that women, even at that level, still feel this. But what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to help women do is pull all of the pieces together so that we can start to feel better, so that we can start to walk into any room with this just relaxed confidence. So not this aggressive confidence, but a relaxed confidence, and learning how to use the wisdom of our woman's body, our woman's skill set, and what I consider the 5 important areas of feminine confidence. And so these are 1, connecting with our creativity, 2, connecting better with our intuition. Men will tell us that we have great intuition, better than theirs, yet we distrust it. So if we can connect better with our intuition. Getting into the area of flow. Flow actually is this concept that top performers use to help achieve things and be in the state of success in a short period of time. And so flow is a feminine energy, not a masculine energy. The next is nurture. This concept of using our skills that comes from being mothers, being creators of this earth, is to actually nurture our ideas, nurture the people who work for us from a leadership perspective, and nurture our children, family, and selves. And then the 5th one is our ability to surrender. So our ability to let go and allow others to succeed around us. When you have high self-esteem and when you have high self-worth, you actually see that those around you are on this incredible confidence scale with you. So I'd like to thank you for your time today. I would like you to share this. It is International Women's Day, and this is the start for me to do a week long of sharing ideas and thoughts related to confident feminine women. My name is Nancy Michelli. I am a women's empowerment coach. I help women become more confident. If you would like to join the conversation more, please leave comments below. I will gladly reach out and chat with you. If you would like to be more in a communication group, I have a free group on Facebook called The Confident Feminine Woman. And this is where we get into conversations and share more ideas with you. And then if you really are interested in reaching out and connecting with me, please feel free to go to my website, nancymichellicoaching.com, and sign up for a free consultation. I am here to offer a little bit of advice, and maybe a free chat will cause you to put yourself on the path to being a more confident feminine woman. And if you want additional assistance and support, we can talk about that as well. I want to wish you an absolutely wonderful International Women's Day, and go find some incredible woman to celebrate today, because there's lots of them out there. Cheers.